you had a front row seat kind of at the nexus of two of the most legendary streetwear bands, Stussy and Supreme. Is there anything about their transformation and their wild success that really surprises you?
Uh, you know, it was the right place, the right time, perfect storm. But there's a tremendous amount of talent, hard work, and I think that's where Shawn and James have similarities. They don't work like other people. They have their own way of working, and I don't want to dive into how they work because they also work very differently. But it's very, very serious. It's very studied. It's very watching, and it's also roll up the sleeves and work. They're not boardroom people. And I think without Stussy, there wouldn't be a Supreme because Stussy did pave the way for let's throw the cards on the table for what we call streetwear, street culture, streetwear, whatever you want to say. And Stussy still is I still have to put that in pole position.
I mean,
I mean, Supreme surpassed it now in a way, not in a way. I mean, economically and fiscally, and obviously they make great stuff. But we wouldn't be having this conversation if there wasn't a Stussy.
I feel like to me the most impressive thing about both Stussy and Supreme is their strategic brand management. What specifically did Supreme and Stussy do correct that, let's say, 555 Soul or Fat Farm or Fucked or countless other brands from that era weren't able to pull off?
I mean, each one has their own pros and cons, and I think every brand that you said is part of the extended family. They're all good brands. Starting with Stussy, there was a creative person and there was a business person, and they both kept in their lanes. There's obviously Shawn, who was the creative, and there was Frank, his partner, who is an amazing numbers person and was able to not every year Stussy did amazing business. There was ups and downs, and Frank still runs and his extended team. If the company was up, I'm just making up numbers now, don't quote me. If it was up a few million, and back then it was just a few million, hey, cool, we made some more money, great, but I'm going to stick it in the bank and make sure when the down times we have money to pay everyone. And, bonuses, blah, 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 and, pay production, pay everything you need to pay for a company to keep running. And then there was the low years where you're like, wow, we're not doing as good for, different reasons. The world changes. But Frank was smart enough to keep it going. And I think if you really want to extend it, the reason Supreme, part of the reason it started is Stussy wasn't doing as well. James is astute. I mean, he did Union before that, then it folded into Stussy, and then he's like, well, there's not really a skate store in New York, and there were, but it was Blades or something.
There's no vibe.
People are
They
going to
didn't have a
like,
vibe.
no, you forgot that one. I was like, yeah, there were other little skate shops. James was like, no, I'm going to do a different kind of skate shop. And I mean, we all know when it opened on Lafayette Street, it looked different than any skate shop. The gravitation of let's say the kids, because part of them were the kids that came to it, were very special. And it took a whole thing. And then Stussy wasn't really as popular then. And Supreme, when it started, wasn't a clothing brand. It was a skate shop. It sold sneakers, boards, bearings, t-shirts, other skate-like brands, but it was very curated like Union was. It was a really good eye of style. And I mean, they sold a lot of DCs and simple shoes and a lot of, I don't guess, stereo boards. I don't remember it. And again, no one that worked there get mad if I'm not quoting exactly what you sold, but it became a vibe. And I think in a way, James knows the Stussy formula. He created his own tribe, which I don't really love the word, but the Stussy tribe was the beginning of street marketing. And then James kind of made his version of it, really just New York kids, and we can go down a list of them and a wonderful array of misfits. But they were the coolest kids around.